Yeah, fighters, what's going on, everybody? So, welcome to another episode. But before we dive into today's awesome episode, talking about New Year's, giving you a little bit more insight into actually Chuck and myself's kind of goals, journey, and kind of peeling back the layers, the curtain a little bit. Not just talking at you guys, but hopefully giving you a little bit of insight and talking with us almost and kind of having a little conversation. I wanted to remind you guys, there's still time. We're going to be having our Never Diet Again Masterclass, both in the beginning of January as well as the second week of January. And we're going to be touching on 3 topics that are going to be sustainable habits that you can use to never have to diet again. And then we're even going to be talking about some awesome opportunities on that masterclass to get an exclusive discount on our 28-day nutrition reset. So I highly recommend, again, the masterclass is free, so you guys can just put your email in. I'll put the link below. And then you'll be able to have an even discounted opportunity to join us for our 28-day nutrition reset, as well as the Zoom calls that's going to go with, and all types of awesome stuff that we're really excited about. And we're kind of even going to talk about a little bit here. But with that being said, also, I want to just one more plug. We have our new website set up, or really the new domain name. It's the same website. So if you've been going to lifeofafighter.academy, it won't seem too new, but lifestyleoffitness.com is up and running, and I'm really excited about it. Chuck, I know you're excited, so check that out below. And without further ado, what's up, Chuck?
What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Good, man. I'm good. It's Friday, so feeling – honestly, I'll be honest, though, like Fridays for me don't really feel that much different than the rest of the week, but I just like saying, yeah, it's Friday, so we're pumped about it.
It feels different for me. I'm just letting you know it's definitely different for me. Friday, I start tailoring down my workouts, except Saturdays I usually crush a good workout. But Fridays I usually start peeling back and tailoring down my workouts because I usually crush it during the entire week. And then Saturday I destroy a workout usually in the morning, and then Sunday is just active recovery day. So Friday is usually that trigger for me that, hey, the week's coming to an end. We have one more killer workout to do on Saturday, and then guess what? Active recovery, and usually cheat meal.
Ooh, always something.
Sunday brunches are the best.
Dude, I've gotten a new appreciation of brunch. So this year for Christmas, we're going to be doing brunch instead of doing originally we were hosting Christmas, but now we're taking on the big pressure of doing Christmas Eve, which is, at least in my family and the German side and the Italian side, I guess, has always been Christmas Eve is a big deal. Obviously in Christmas
Eve is a big deal, yeah.
So we're throwing it down on Christmas Eve, and we're still trying to kind of fine tune what we're going to be, if I'm going to be using the smoker, and we're going to be also baking and all that fun stuff. But I just figured kind of share that with you guys. And to that point, Christmas Day is brunch at my sister-in-law's, which I'm pumped about.
Brunch is a good thing.
So with that being said, we're here to talk about New Year's, and I was kind of on the fence about this. There's pros and cons to me with New Year's. I definitely say anytime there's an opportunity for us and for you guys listening and watching to be able to reflect on your goals and to have a new opportunity to set new goals, that's great. But I think the downside, and I'm obviously curious to hear your thoughts on this too, Chuck, to the New Year's resolution concept is that everybody wants to create this new person and do all this new stuff all at once. I'm going to change everything, Chuck. I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm going to eat 1,000 calories. I'm going to not drink. I'm only going to have water, no coffee, no nothing. And then after 3 days, we all fail. And then it's just off to the races for the normal year.
Yeah, so setting realistic goals is a big part of it. I mean, everybody has this mindset as new year, new me. I'm going to go out and I'm going to crush everything. And then they set such high expectations of this goal, this person that they want to become, that they forget to get a foundation. And we talk about Legos all the time. And, they forget that, the end goal is great, but how are you going to get there? And you can't just look at the end goal and say, I'm going to do that without putting all the steps in place to get there. So to set a goal and hit that goal, an attainable goal, a realistic attainable goal, that should be your first step. And say, okay, so my New Year's resolution is I'm gonna start looking at what I eat and looking at how much sugar I have throughout the course of the day, and I'm gonna cut that back by 50%. That's a realistic goal. Or I go to Starbucks, 5 or 6 times during the week, and I get these, flavored lattes, and I'm going to peel that back, and I'm going to have maybe regular coffee. I'm going to switch that out, and I'm going to have regular coffee. Instead of using sugar, I'm going to use something like organic stevia or drink it black or whatever. Again, my nice stuff going on too, right?
I'll be transparent though. I do unsweetened almond milk, and I put one packet of stevia in here, so it's not 100% always black.
Yeah, so like the same thing with me. I mean, I usually treat myself maybe twice a week to an oat milk latte, which I'm drinking right now. But usually throughout the course of the week, I'm drinking my coffee with almond milk, or I'll use a half and half in it. And I use organic stevia drops because I don't like to put sugar in my coffee. But, these were changes when I first did the 28-day challenge years and years and years ago, probably the first time that I did it. I was putting sugar in my coffee, and I was putting regular milk in my coffee. And, yeah, exactly. To the untrained person, they don't realize how much sugar is in milk. And then you're adding sugar on top of that into the milk, into the coffee. So you're getting a ridiculous amount of sugar in your coffee. So once I did the 28-day challenge, the first time I did it, we had no coffee the first week. And then I peeled it back and I just changed the way that I drink my coffee. Still tastes great. I still enjoy my coffee every morning, but I changed the way I do it. So people have to set realistic goals and take a look at what you're eating or what your nutrition is, and just set a realistic goal. Now that goal can be modified, or you can add another goal after the fact, but let's hit that first attainable goal.
I think that's a great point. And also, I don't know if you noticed, it's getting serious when I put my hat on backwards. Like I had to flip it back.
I didn't I just noticed that.
I got pumped and I got really excited about what you said and kind of how we're going to piggyback on that. And to that point, like, that's what I love about all the different also contracts that we have with Life for Friend opportunities and partnerships, whether it comes from Noom to all these other different things, and like the education that we get to learn and being able to have all these different, platforms and coaching programs that we offer, from the pro coach to our fitness vault to the 28-day nutrition reset. That's really, to me, the foundation. When we talk about Legos, when we talk about being able to build, like you said, starting with something that's like, let's get an easy win, and maybe easy win isn't the right way to call it, but let's get a win early. Because from my experience, and obviously I can't speak for anybody else, but based on what research will show and based on what the National Institute of Health has shown in numerous studies, when you try and add more than one task or one new habit change, your success rate goes from between 80 and 90% success to 70%, and it just plummets right after that. And that's what everyone does on New Year's, right? We're all trying to be able to say like a new me, new year, and I'm not discouraging wanting to make a change, but A, when it's not New Year's, why are we not doing that year round? And B, when it is New Year's and we are doing that, why not do it in the keyword to me is sustainable? And that's even with the 28-day nutrition reset or anything that we do with, I feel like anything we put out is, yes, we can even have a month in mind, but how do we make it sustainable thereafter? And that's where I thought, like, we're going to peel back like the curtain of talking about, and I thought it was great. Like you even mentioned, like, hey, let's talk about what we're doing for New Year's, like what our plan is. And that's why we have you, Chuck.
Yeah. So I can dive into a little bit as to what my intentions are coming into the new year. So, you know that I pretty much stay consistent with a clean diet throughout the course of the week. And then I'll throw in like maybe one or two cheat meals, maybe one cheat meal during the week. And then I maybe a cheat meal on the weekend. But for the most part, I eat pretty clean throughout the course of the week. So over the last couple of months, I've caught myself having more carbohydrates than I usually have. So, where I usually keep I'm not counting my macronutrients all the time, but I'm mindful of my macronutrients. A lot of people don't even know what a macronutrient is, and we'll dive into that another time, but I'm mindful of my macronutrients. And I've noticed over the past couple of months that I've been ingesting more carbohydrates than I normally do. So I've noticed that my body fat percentage has gone up a little bit. And the way I notice it is every morning, do I have abs or do I not have abs? And I still see my abs every single morning. However, they're not as defined as they usually were in the past. So I know that my nutrition is off because my workout programs have been on point. So I know that it dives into my nutrition. If I know my workouts are on point, I know my nutrition is off. And mentally, I already know my nutrition is off. So I have to dive that in. So what I'm going to do is take the holidays and enjoy the holidays. I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm going to enjoy my holidays. Am I going to have a cheat meal every single day? No, I'm not. But I'm going to enjoy Christmas Eve. As a typical Italian family, we have to do the night of the seven fishes. So there will be some fried fish in there. There will be other fish, and there will be some desserts, and I'll entertain some Italian pastries. Why not? It's Christmas, it's the holiday season. For Christmas Day, I'm cooking, so I'll probably cook, a nice steak. I'm going to do a prime rib, but it's going to be a healthy version of everything. So I'm not going to go crazy with pastries. It's only going to be us for the holidays. So my wife and I will enjoy some nice prime rib. And then for New Year's, we'll probably end up going out to dinner. But then come New Year's Day, I'm going to reset, and I'm going to myself do the 28-day challenge again. So I'm going to start my year off by doing the 28-day challenge again and clean my system out. And then from there, once I'm done doing the 28-day challenge, I know, like I said, I normally don't like to count my macronutrients, but I have a goal going into the summertime, and I want to get back down to 13% body fat. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to recalibrate all my macronutrients, and I'm going to count my macros, and I'm going to stick to a very, and I know we talked about never having to diet again, but in my mind, I know what I have to do. I know what I enjoy eating. I know where my macronutrients have to be, but I'm going to take that one step further, and I'm going to count my macronutrients.
And I think to that point, there's a lot to pull from there that I think that's why I think it's great we do this. We share that layer. So you guys can kind of feel like we're normal people, right? Like we just have experiences, and we have insight, and we have one of the keywords that jumped out at me, Chuck, is awareness and mindfulness. So that awareness, knowing some people, and you may be listening and watching thinking I don't know why I gained 15 pounds this year. It's well, first off, let's look at the obvious of COVID and stress and the restriction
all
of
that stuff is there.
All those things, as well as really look at your choices on a day-to-day. And that's something that can be hard, whether it's we consciously choose not to do that, or we just don't know what to look at. To your point, you may not know what a micronutrient is or a macronutrient, and that's okay. That's even what we dive into with our courses, and we try and create with this content here. And being able to have that awareness and balance as well, saying all right, I'm going to be honest. I want to enjoy certain foods. So whether it's Christmas Eve and Christmas, I'm going to allow myself those choices, but also it doesn't mean that it's an all or nothing mindset of now for the next from and I'm going to throw my brother-in-law under the bus here. Carl, don't mind me, and this is a great example. Carl's been crushing it.
Carl.
But dude, he's been crushing. He put on 5 pounds of muscle with the workout program that we've been testing. So that's something you guys will see in the coming months for the 8 weeks to shred that we're going to kind of sneak every once in a while. But we've been testing it, right? And that's one thing we always do with everything that I'm a big fan of whether it was the 28-day challenge when I first put it out. I tested it first, and we test and we refine it. And being able to see, how do we respond? And his mindset was, I think, really telling to probably what a lot of you will feel. And then I just wanted to share that it's Thanksgiving, because it was right before Thanksgiving. He's honestly, from Thanksgiving to New Year's, I'm not looking at nutrition. I don't even care. And then I was hey man, listen, I hear you. I understand what you're saying. You're crushing it with the gym. You put on 5 pounds of muscle. That's awesome. But if we do that and we pay no attention to nutrition whatsoever, you're creating a bigger obstacle to have to overcome down the road. And he even did something, and we talked about it, and he's cool, I'm just gonna be mindful of my portions. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, but even the last 2 weeks, I just saw him on Wednesday and this week, and we were talking about it, and he's already feeling more confident with the choices and having mindfulness to what he's having. And those are the things, that's why I wanted to share with you guys, because it can be tempting, even with Christmas or Hanukkah to New Year's, where you're for this entire window, I'm gonna just do whatever. There's for example, on this weekend, tomorrow, Rogue Combat Club has a gym, our coaches only, small gathering, less than 10 people. We're going to be socially distancing, responsible, all that fun stuff, but there's going to be food, and I'm bringing, fortunately, unfortunately, my family owns a bakery here in town, Geraldine.
I got to hear what you're bringing.
So I'm going to bring 2 pounds of cookies. I'm going to bring a dozen donuts, and I'm going to bring a half dozen savories, which is turkey and cheese, ham and cheese, and whatever have you. Now, I already know going in that I pick the things that I like and I know everyone's going to like, but I planned this. So I go in with a plan and mindfulness of instead of I ordered way too much food for 8 people, right? This is enough for 20 people. So I'm purposely bringing bags to send home with everyone else. And we have a plan, and that's the cool thing about having people in the health community, we can have that plan and then also be able to find ways, like we're going to work out and then enjoy our meal. So we're going to work out together, in a safe way, like we're getting our lift on, whatever. Don't worry, Ash, I'm not going to be rolling with anyone yet. I'm not going to have like face-to-face. There's not going to be COVID. Yeah, soon. After it with Chuck.
Calling you out on that.
Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We were talking about that a little bit before. But the point of me saying all this is, like, listen, we got holiday parties, right? We have Christmas parties. And it's tempting to say, well, it's Christmas, I'm going to have whatever. No, what we will do is if there's like a donut, like, I'll be honest, they have a chocolate donut with a peanut butter chip on top that I'm going to have half of that. I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to have half with almond milk. And it's going to be delicious. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a scoop of protein to my almond milk so that it slows some of the digestion down, but I'm also going to have it post-workout. So I have maybe 350 to 400 calories there, but I had that kind of choice, so I'm not going to be craving and feeling restrictive, because that's a big thing too. If you feel restricted with anything that you're doing for too long, it's not going to work. So that's like a piece. And I wanted to pull that layer back. So that's how I approach those kind of situations. And then even for Christmas Eve, we're going to throw down, we're going to have food, but I'm going to work out. We're going to have a monster workout on Christmas Eve. And then I'm going to have a HIIT training workout on Christmas Day to deplete my glycogen, anything that I kind of spilled over, and then feed for Christmas brunch and be able to enjoy those choices. But from Christmas, the 26th to New Year's, I'm also not going to just eat whatever and drink whatever have you. So I'm going to also do the nutrition reset with everybody. Me and Chuck are going to do it live with you guys. Anyone that's going to sign up and do it, we're going to do it in real times. And it's not something that we do and we don't actually participate. We apply this principles. And to your point, Chuck, where you might tweak things and being mindful of calories and macros, to me, that's not necessarily dying. It's pulling back that awareness. And that's why I like doing the nutrition reset every 3 or so months, because that's how you don't have to diet, because you never allow yourself to get into those habits so strongly that you're behind the 8 ball. We put on 10, 15, 20 pounds. Like I have this thought process of like, I'm never going to be above 200 pounds again. Like even when I got married, when we were in Punta Cana, for the fun fact, everyone that doesn't know, like Chuck was at my wedding, the wedding party, and we even got a workout in on the day of the wedding. And I was 205 pounds. So like I was probably at like a heavier weight. And that's in setting those kind of thresholds of like, Chuck, for example, you use the measuring stick of body fat percentage. Like, hey, can I see my abs now? Knowing what you want to use for that evaluation of like, all right, this is my upper end threshold can be really helpful. Again, I went on a bit of a tangent there, a bit of a rant, but that's kind of the insight on how we're approaching New Year's and the mindset, honestly, behind it all.